I mean, the whole river looks fantastic. It's gorgeous water, and we got 100 miles of river. This has been a blast. This is really big. It's an adventure, isn't it, Dave?
It's an adventure. I expect to make some mistakes, learn along the way. I'll try to pass on at least our experiences. Maybe other people can learn from them. But this is a pretty amazing morning to sit here with my brother, have some coffee over a fire. We just got dropped off at Pagadi Lake. It was a 45-minute float plane ride, Papa Bear Adventures. We got our raft all pumped up, and Dan's gonna do what Dan does best. He's gonna rig up. We're gonna see if we can find some fish before Mike and Brian show up. They should be about half hour behind us. I'll show you what went as planned, what didn't go as planned. We'll talk about what we learned along the way. This is gonna be a pretty amazing trip. All right, first hookup. Oh, you're dangerous with a fly rod in your hand. Well, you got a nice fish on. Woo. How's that feel? Huh? It's a long day to get here. How's it feel?
It feels good. That's a lot of fish right here. Whoa, look at him go.
Oh, I'll say.
Oh my goodness.
He's taking you across Pagadi Lake. So this has been a dream of ours, fishing in Alaska. This is the first fish hooked. And it's a spirited sockeye. What'd you hook it on, Dan?
A pink starlight leech.
Pink starlight leech, probably third or fourth cast.
Be backing right there. Wow.
I think this is going to be a good trip, Dan.
Yeah, I think so. I think I could stand right here in this spot for 11 days.
I mean, the plane just dropped us off. We're waiting for the others. Oh. Alaska.
Yeah,
I'm impressed.
This is really something. You gotta hit them in the face with it, but if you do, they eat you. Yeah, some of them are willing. I put it in front of a lot of fish before she ate it. But, whew, bam.
Nice work. All right, so Dan guides for Solitary Angler in Green River, Wyoming. That's been behind a rowboat just a little bit. So talk us through some of the fundamentals on oaring a boat like this.
Well, first things first is to keep yourself out of trouble. Point your bow at what you don't want to hit, and you're going to roll backwards. You don't push forwards, you roll backwards, like that. And you just keep rowing, roll hard and fast until your boat edges away from whatever it is you were going to hit. That's number one rule in drift boat. The second one is you never ever drop your oars. Right? If you do that and the boat's floating through current, two things can happen and they're both bad. One is that the oar blade hits something, twists and breaks, and then you have to go to your spare oar, and that's bad. The other, which is almost as bad, is it hits something and it comes flying back at you, and it hits you or somebody else and you get injured. So every time you're going to drop the oars for any reason, they go behind you like that, or something similar. But you keep the oar blades out of the water. Number one rule.
Here comes Brian and Mike. We hooked 3 and landed 2 while we were waiting for them, so that was pretty productive. Hey Brian, how'd you do?
Oh, it's awesome.
Pretty incredible experience, huh?
What a view.
You see that
There he is.
there? We're here.
How's it going, Mike?
Good. Got it going. Little oil here.
All right, we're setting sail. Here we go, off to a great adventure here. We got 11 days floating down this river, and we got the rafts floating. We got everything organized, did it twice. All right, we're about 1 mile into the trip, and there's a massive brown bear right there. No way the camera sees it, but hopefully Dan will get a picture. Yeah, you see him?
Yeah, he's way down.
Oh, he was taking a bath. There's that bear right there. Dan's got the 10 millimeter, so we're staying behind Dan. We do have bear spray, but We don't want to use any of that stuff on this guy, but we're trying to get around him. He don't care. All right, my first grayling in Alaska. Check that out.
Oh.
Cool fish, huh?
Yeah.
So we had to pull over. Dan and Mike are upriver from us. Look at that big boy. That bear is so big we thought it was a tree. And then Brian whistled at it and it turned its head at us. We're safe here. I mean, he's 200 yards away. I don't even know if the camera will pick it up. That is one massive animal. Whew, we're in bear country. That's amazing. Campsite day one. Well, Mike, how was the night?
Fantastic. Slept well. I hope I didn't snore too loud for everyone else.
I kept the bears away. Good job.
Okay.
So this is camp day one. We definitely can do better next time. I think, how long do you think it took us to set everything up?
It was too long.
It was too long.
Probably a little over an hour and a half.
So it didn't help. So we obviously had a late start last night. I think at 6 o'clock we started floating, and we didn't get to camp until 11ish. We didn't eat until midnight. So definitely a rough day one, but I think we're set up great for a day two here. I know one thing. Brian is well slept because he was giving me the sleep indicator all night long. So that guy was sleeping, no fear of bears whatsoever. Let's check on Dan making coffee here. This is a do-it-yourself trip, but we do have a guide with us. We're not paying him. What do you got going on here, Dan? Getting your bear protection ready?
Yeah, I just slept like this all night.
Trying to put this bug tent together was quite an ordeal, but you got her done. What went out well on day one?
I picked a lot of salmon berries. That was
So
really good.
our flight was delayed to get out here by 6 hours, so Dan went berry picking.
I did. And that was really fun. I ate a whole bunch of them, and then I ate so many while I was out there picking them that I ended up giving them to one of the guys that works for Papa Bear.
The pizza.
Oh, yeah.
The unplanned pizza.
The unplanned pizza was darn good.
No, for me, what went well, the highlight of yesterday was seeing my first Alaskan brown bear. And
Yeah,
getting
that's a good one.
pictures
Yep.
and being pretty close to him. That was a big.
The flight in was absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
coming through
I didn't
the
want it to end.
mountains,
Yeah.
and it was absolutely stunning coming through those mountains.
Yeah, good one.
I'm going to do one side of the box is trout. Load it up out of these. And
That's nice of you to make a box like that for me today.
I'm going to do the other side with salmon stuff in it. This is all sockeyes. Sockeyes are notorious for not eating at all.
What's the plan?
We've been told over and over it's grayling, char, dollies, and the occasional rainbow, and they're going to eat eggs because that's what the sockeyes are up here doing. They're feeding voraciously on eggs. And I think the reason we didn't get a lot of action yesterday is that we were not fishing eggs. We were fishing streamer type things, which if there were no salmon, they'd probably be all over it.
How's that breakfast burrito?
It was fabulous.
This and a tortilla, and look at, he's pretty happy. We got a full day on the Kanektok. Let's see what we can do. We got to just take a second and enjoy this weather. Look at this. I knew we had a great forecast. Holy cow, this is incredible weather. Warm. Yeah, we're starting to figure them out as we go down the river. Mike's got a scud pattern on it, looks like.
That's what it was.
Nice rainbow.
Here we go.
Oh, what a big fish, huh?
This grayling, I think.
Big grayling. Ooh, that's a hog. That's the biggest one of the trip. What do you think? Hey, we're off to a bit of a slow start today. We're starting to find some rainbows, and Dan caught a really chrome sockeye that we're gonna have for dinner tonight. So we're seeing more and more fish. It's definitely, this is a marathon, not a sprint. We know the fishing's gonna get better as we go down the river. Brian, we're getting suntan, aren't we? So we came down here and we saw just maybe 1,000 fish right here. So we put the rafts up here, walked up, 2 casts, 2 fish. Pretty awesome fishing. As we keep going down, it's getting better and better. It's going to be a dynamite afternoon.
I gotta go to the bank so you can hold on to them. Go ahead and just let, okay, there we go. Yeah. Let go some pressure, Mike.
Let him down.
Yeah, there you go. And he'll get him right in there. Yeah. Nope, almost. Brian's now fighting one.
Palm it right down. Hi.
Whoa.
Very powerful. They don't give up. Look at them go. Yeah. Brian on a fly rod. What kind of salmon is that though?
I'm not sure. I think it's still soft.
Good.
Pink and white clouser. That's what's left of it after 5 fish on it.
Pink and white clouser.
Yeah.
Doing a job.
That's your memento.
Oh,
He
jeez.
tore that out.
Wow.
Got to be your biggest salmon on a fly rod. First salmon on a fly rod. Now we're in Alaska. Dan hooked a huge king. He sight fished it. Don't hook such a big fish next time, Dan.
Broke.
Well, we got to see him.
A few moments later.
Normally I'd wait for this, but something bad that happened today was we lost the raft. We didn't tie up after Dan hooked a big king salmon. And I got in this boat, Dan's boat, because I was closest to it. Brian hopped in and we bailed down the river about a mile to get in front of the boat. Brian went in for the boat in a little too deep of water and went chest high. Woo! Thanks for racing the river with me. Let's not do that again.
No.
Look at how skinny the river's gotten. Only the last half mile.
Yeah, it looks. I don't know.
So it's about a day's raft to get here because we had a day and a half. It's about, I think, 4 o'clock right now.
Getting more interesting.
Definitely getting more interesting.
Are we moving past this?
Yeah, we're just grabbing firewood. All right, day 2, we're gonna start looking for some camps. We went through the skinny water, opened up a bit, and I think we're gonna get a little early camp tonight and hit it real hard tomorrow. So, strange day today for sure. Not the day we were expecting, but we made a lot of ground and we're into the good fishing area, so.
This is our camp, night 2. I think it's called Paiute Creek. I don't know if you can see this, but look at the salmon in here.
All right, it's blackened sockeye salmon from the Kanektok River, coconut rice. How's the restaurant Kanektok?
It was wonderful.
Yeah, I wouldn't say we caught a lot of fish today. Today was kind of a moving day, where now we're at a spot where we feel like the fishing's really going to improve. We did see a lot more fish toward the evening, and we just wanted to get set up. We've got a beautiful camp here. All right, worst part of the day, Dan.
Losing that rod. That broke my heart.
A rod was lost. If you find a rod about a day's float from the Pagadi Lake on the river right side, right?
Yep.
Put it to good use. Mike, what do you think? There's a few things to think about.
Yeah, I just broke Dan's rod out here again, so he not only lost one, I broke one.
Oh my.
You're on a roll, Dan.
Hard on deer.
We were trying to get rid of all 25 poles. And
Oh yeah.
You guys are reducing your poles. Brian, what was the worst part?
Taking a digger in the river.
So we had a mishap with the rafts. We went downstream and got them, and we were quite a ways down. And when Brian went to go get the rafts, he kind of went right in the water. So he cooled off.
Yeah.
We're lucky it's a beautiful weather day. All right, tomorrow's going to be a high fish number day. Day 3 is going to be lots of fish. Dan, you ready?
Yep.
You ready for us to say, Dan, you got this, you got that, you got a nippers, you got a cutters? Dan's been supplying a lot of the tackle for this trip so far.
Yeah.
All right, we're out. All right, this is Paiute Creek. Takes about a day to get here from Pagadi Lake. You can see it's a nice big site, nice big spot, flat ground. We've got a creek coming in here. We got the main river here, and it was pretty cool. I was sleeping in this tent, and you could hear sockeye swirling around all night. It was a really cool night to go to sleep. It was probably 70, 75 in the tent. Super lucky with this weather. Sat there listening to little Bob Seger on Brian's iPhone, and kind of just drifted off last night and fell asleep really early. Got a great night's sleep. They call this an Alaskan match. All right, just back from the coffee shop. This is the kind of morning I dreamed about when we set this trip up. And one thing I was thinking about as I was going to sleep last night was we had a weather delay getting out of Papa Bear. And what we did is we rested and we were anxious, we wanted to go out. But what we really should have done was put the tents up and put the cots up together as a group. Make sure everybody understands how they go together and make that first night setting up much easier. Like we really struggled. Not so much with the tents, I think generally we knew how those went together, but the bug tent was unique and it's a really critical piece for us. And the cots were a really big one. These cots were just really hard to assemble. At least I couldn't figure it out. They weren't intuitive. The next day we did figure it out, but it did still take us, what, Dan, like still 20 minutes and in one personal time out to put the cots together. We should have put everything together and just made sure we had it. At a minimum, we should have at least looked at some YouTube videos to get comfortable with the assembly. And I think that would have really helped the first night out. And that first night, you know, if I had to do it over again, I would have stayed at Pagadi Lake and then got to here on a one-day drift. But you know, that's part of getting experience. Is we've never been on this river before. You know, the terrain is completely different here. I think it's a lot more conducive to camping, at least so far from what I've seen. We passed a couple sites that were definitely doable, and we took the first one we could in the upper river. I would blow past the upper river. I would at least get to Paiute Creek before thinking about setting up camp. And if you can get it to this location, you know, it'd be great. I mean, I tried to shoot some video of it, how great it is. It's really a spectacular place to camp. You could spend a couple days here really if you wanted to and be really content. So,
Minor mistake I think we made is we got obsessed with it. I mean, the whole river looks fantastic. It's gorgeous water, and you're tempted to want to try to fish every inch of it. That said, this has been a blast. This is really good. It's an adventure, isn't it, Dave?
Yeah.
It's a true adventure.
Yeah, I'd echo that. It's an adventure. I expect to make some mistakes, learn along the way. I'll try to pass on at least our experiences. Maybe other people can learn from them. This is a pretty amazing morning to sit here with my brother, have some coffee over a fire. So we're gonna break down camp here in a little while and get on the way.
There are tracks all around it.
All right, the last man's up. Good morning, Brian.
Well, good morning.
How was the sleep?
Oh. Hey, you take a cot with a really good quality air mattress, sleep just like a select comfort.
You have a little bit of the river behind you. That was some pretty killer ambient noise we had last night.
Oh, yeah. It's just...
Hey, one other thing I was thinking about as we're sitting here by the campfire getting ready for our day is, one thing I wish we would have done was tell or ask Papa Bear to put both rafts in the first beaver flight. So there's 2 of us. We had 2,400 pound maximum, 1,200 pounds per beaver flight. If it would have worked out, if the math would have worked, it would have been better to put both rafts in the beaver plane so that when we landed first, we could have blown them up. It was about a 45-minute float plane ride to Lake Pagadi, and by the time our second beaver plane came, Dan and I, we were just sitting there fishing, going through gear. We could have been getting the rafts together. So just something we were thinking about as we're sitting here by the campfire drinking some coffee. Gearing up. All right, Dan got day 3 off to a start. We're still packing up rafts. And Dan wanted to see if a technique would work. So you're 8 steps away from camp there, Dan. We haven't even left yet.
You got his first dolly.
Right at camp.
Yeah.
Lock your bail. There you go. Boom.
I've got it.
Nice. See, now you got the feel for it, Brian?
Yeah.
Take your time. You gotta wear them out a little bit.
He's a little guy.
Yeah, a good early morning fish.
You got pretty strong chest on here.
Yeah, you got 10 pounds.
He's pretty...
Nice looking fish. First Dolly Varden for Brian.
Right there.
There you go. Nice scoop, Mike.
Dolly.
Nice scoop. Oh, what do you think, buddy?
Oh, that makes me happy. You can see that.
Even a lefty can catch a fish in Alaska. That's the way to kick off day 3, Brian. Oh, good one.
Look, there he is. He got him good.
First one on a fly rod, so it's been a while. Only the second fish on this rod. Not a big one. Well taken. First one.
This is what we're living with.
Bear country, Brian. Nice one, Mike. Well, you know, you would have thought that was a snag there. You know, because you had 2 that looked like bottom. Third one was a charm. Never assume, you know. All right, we got a day 3, how we've packed. We've learned how to optimize our raft. We've taken out the floats in the middle and just deflated them and put them in the way back. Put all of our bags there and then just kind of built it up to the action packer. So now we can set our rods in nice. This can be a lot better ride. We got nothing in the bow but a seat, nothing for the rower. And yesterday we didn't do it that way and I regretted it. So I've been kind of learning from watching Dan and Mike do it, but I think this is a good way. I got water on this side, fishing tackle on that side. Put Brian up front and he can hook some big fish.
Yep. The only challenge, get wet clothes. It's tough to get it dry up here. Got to get some sun on it or it doesn't dry.
Wet clothes in Alaska stay wet clothes.
Yeah, yep.
You'll be packing that in your luggage for Alaskan Airlines.
Yep.
All right, we got a double floating.
it up putting higher.
Hard to video that, but what do you got there, buddy?
I got me a fish. Look at this.
Oh, it still counts.
Look at
That was a leader touch.
perfect. That's
Found it.
fun. Yes.
I've learned how to roll from my brother Dan, who rows the Green River all the time, and I gotta say, it's a pretty fun part of the trip trying to navigate all these things. I really wasn't expecting it to be this this rugged. I don't know why, but I wasn't expecting that. So thought I'd show a little bit of the rapids. We haven't run across anything that I felt real dangerous. I mean, sometimes you come around a corner and there's a tree. You know, I guess they call them sweepers here, and you got to be a little mindful of that. But we've only had that, I guess, twice today. Don't you think, Brian? Mm-hmm. Where we had some trees, but pretty fun just rolling down the river today. And obviously we're having a pretty good day catching fish. So good day. Stop for a little Alaska lunch. I thought I'm going to introduce the crew quick. We got Mike Black, former NFL player. If you consider the Detroit Lions an NFL team.
Or a punter, a player.
I didn't want to mention that he was a punter, but he's also been to more All-Star games than anybody else. Brian Bentley, if you watch the channel, you've seen Brian Bentley. You know what he's about.
I'm the sidekick.
And then we got Dan Parson, my brother here.
Professional.
School teacher, professional fishing guide. And this is a do-it-yourself trip, but we got him on board, so we're doing all right. And I'm just along for the ride. Brian, I stopped recording Brian catching rainbows because he's whacking them so good. He got one with his line dangling. Brian, was your line a dangling?
Yeah. Don't bring it in. Don't let it swing. And if it stops, hit him. And all it feels like is a stop. I think on your next one, try casting this way. You're too far up here. And by the time it gets here, it's being picked up off the front. We're short.
Whoa, that's a big one.
Mike!
Woo!
Oh!
Oh! Oh!
What a fish!
Oh my
What a
God!
fish!
That was 40 pounds.
And all it does is stop, right?
Yeah.
They just.
We were just trying to leave, and Dan all of a sudden whacked a silver.
On there. Thank you. Yeah. There's a king salmon. He hasn't even really decided to fight yet. Get ready, he'll get really, really powerful. See what I mean though? You just got to keep kind of figuring out the weight so you get it right,
It's all the way.
right into their face. Yeah, they're not willing to move very far. Might have to edge our way, Dave. Woo! Maybe we'll get a jump out of him yet. Sure is a kick of the pants when those big fish jump. That's not small.
No, he's 20.
Good job, Dave. Proud of you.
Well, he's coached me on that for sure. Good shell, buddy.
Yeah, beach him. He's walking this way towards. Oh, get him, Mike. Can you get him? No.
Well, that popped out, but that was a pretty cool experience. So thanks, Dan, for experimenting with the weight. Or what did I hook that thing on?
Chartreuse clouser. You know, this one's pretty well destroyed. We'll get a new one on there.
So you see him just hanging in the river. I mean, I don't know if the camera will pick him up. And he's just swinging that by him, but it's hard. I mean, it's serious technique that he's got. I can't do it, but you just keep changing the weight until you get it right in their face, and then they'll just pick it up and eat it, and boom, you're on.
Hey, tell us about that experience there.
Well, that was pretty cool. Dan just hooked another one. We are definitely in Alaska fishing salmon right now. I'll tell you about that experience, but we're gonna have one every 5 minutes the way this is going. This is some crazy fishing on the Kanektok. Oh, beauty, Dan. We got them surrounded, boys. Yeah! There we go, Mike.
Nice job, Mike.
The Detroit Lions got you ready to do this.
He just charged him.
Yeah, he did.
Wow, is that a pretty fish?
Like that was Derek McKinnon. Who did you slam?
Dennis McKinnon.
This guy tackled Dennis McKinnon so well, Walter Payton congratulate him for it. All right, back to the salmon.
Wow, that's beautiful.
All right, talk about that Dennis McKinnon shot.
It was punted the ball. It was me and him in the middle of the field. He got there, and I said, oh, is he going to go right or is he going to go left? And I guessed that he was going to go to the left, and that's the way I went. And I absolutely stuck him. And then I'm laying on top of him, and he goes, don't tell me you're the punter.
Punters are athletes too.
Yeah, did you see that charge?
Yeah. Dick buckets. Decisions to be made. We can go right or left, but look at that big old tree there. I think we're going right, Brian. Mike's had this range go on for half a mile. We got our third day camp. Gonna be right here. We had a great day fishing, so we're gonna go get our reward. Now we planned this very carefully. We have 8 more days to go, which seems crazy. Did they ditch them? Or did they play a game on us? Is this an intervention? Oh, what do we have here?
Hey, there was a beer.
Oh,
For you.
black spruce. Look at that.
Oh,
It is cold. Whoa, Brian.
cheers.
Cheers, buddy. Great day fishing. Celebrate living 3 days with this guy.
Oh. What's it gonna be like? We're gonna need a bottle of whiskey day 11.
What?
We got
We're gonna get a
that.
bottle of whiskey.
You
Anyway.
love them and you hate them all at the same time. I feel like I'm
Double
just
cheers.
walking through a desert and
3
a
days.
bucket of water.
3 days in a boat with this guy. What happened, Mike?
He doubled up.
Well, Brian and I are setting camp up, though. I mean, our own tent. You guys already set your tent up while we were enjoying the beer. Brian, they got doubles over there. Show them in a sockeye.
Well, it looks like an aquarium in that.
Yeah. All right, a little campsite double. All right, well, that's a wrap for day 3. There's fish swirling all around us. Let's see. Best part of the day was seeing Mike hook. It had to be a 40-pound king salmon. It just came blasting out of the river. Didn't land it, but it was worth it to see it. So that was awesome. Worst part of the day, honestly, is so sunny and hot. I don't know if you agree, Brian.
Yeah.
But our temperature is so hot. Like, we all brought warm clothes, and I'm just wearing, you know, a Columbia wicking t-shirt right now, and I really wish I had gym shorts on. Yep. So I'm gonna jump in the river before we go to bed. Best part of the day.
Catching a king salmon on a fly. Got 2 of them. Hooked 4, landed 2. I would say today was perhaps the best day of fishing of my life in many ways because of the salmon and a pile of Dolly, varden, grayling. Got a grayling on a dry fly, which I always wanted to do, just right over here, just a minute ago. Really a lot of fish and some big epic fish, like where you pull back on an 8 weight and you're giving it all you've got and your arm is throbbing and sore and cramped up and you're nowhere even close to having that. I mean, they're so powerful.
We don't have a guide. You're figuring it out. So
Yeah. Well, what we figured out today was to just use a little bit bigger egg and a little bit different color egg, and that just turned the tide. And so we were into fish all day today. What I've learned is if there is a pod of salmon or any salmon at all, run that bead right through them every single time.
yeah, there'll be dollies.
There'll be dollies, rainbows, and grayling in with them. Mostly dollies for us, but an assortment of other things too. And then any place where 2 currents come together, whether it's a tributary or a little channel that comes back in, but any place where those 2 currents come back together, whether there's sockeyes there or not, cast at that.
I don't have pictures of it. I took a little bit of video, but it doesn't do it justice. There was a lot of fish caught today. So. Welcome to day 4. How'd you sleep?
Just fabulous.
That's pretty good sleeping weather, isn't it? the breakfast restaurant. How you doing?
The Kanektok Cafe. So the red X is where we started. This red X is where we finish. We are about, looks like 1/3 of the way through our float. And we were not far from one of the campsites that Papa Bear recommended, Knackill Creek. I think that's only gonna be about half a mile down the river. So I think we'll go down today and we'll check that out. But as we come down here, this is, I think, Sam.
Oh, it looks like it gets skinny there.
Yeah, Sam Creek. And then our friend Frank recommended Clack Creek to stay overnight.
All right, well, we got a plan together. Going to make it to Clack, 7 miles.
Yeah,
No problem.
I think we
This site's got an aquarium in the backyard here, full of sockeyes and chum.
Everything is always wet.
Well, Cam hits the Dolly Varden, we can have that for breakfast, otherwise it's oatmeal. Morning breakfast. Voila. What's your thought? First bite?
Good. Yeah.
Something I kind of thought might be fun to have in this video is this hat. This was my late best buddy Barry's hat, and in spirit, I believe he's here with us. I thought I'd wear his hat on this trip, and then I'm going to retire it. I think it brought us good luck already, huh?
Yep.
Cool. Anyway, thought that might be fun to have in that video.
Yeah, Barry's a good man. Missed.
Use him every day. This morning I was up early drinking coffee, and a bear came. I noticed her right on this little park right here. Just went right up and over the top of that hill and came around. I think she's going around us.
So what did you
It
do?
was fun to watch it. I just watched her.
You didn't go grab your gun?
I did, just because I'm like, there's a bear over there. I should probably have some way to scare it away.
Did you get that?
I like that.
So you went and got a sound maker?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I figure if I had to, I could shoot one of you guys in the leg, and then that way I'd get a chance of getting away.
You see what I just did? I went like that, try to eat it through my mask.
This isn't a video of what not to do, Mike.
Oh. Pulled the rod out of my hand. Whoa, look at that rod bend. Whoa. I got a bruise on my belly from fighting big fish, jamming the butt of the rod into it. Ooh, wow, that really hit me hard. I had that one coming. All right. So I was fighting a fish and the hook pulled free. And it hit my finger and it's swelling up. I can't believe how hard that fly hit me right in the finger. Woo. I don't know if you can tell.
All right, start the engine up, boys.
Ready?
I got Bentley power today. You ready, Brian?
Oh.
Check out this grayling. That's the biggest grayling I've ever seen. Oh, this fast water, it ain't easy to net it. There we go. Beautiful fish. Look at that. That's amazing, huh? What a beauty. I never caught one that big. Thanks, buddy. Good fight. Yeah. Boy, he's wild still.
They fight pretty hard.
Yeah, they're good fish. This is a nice fish.
Rainbows fight hard. Drag my way. Hand that to you.
I got it. All right. All right, buddy. Oh, that's a beautiful fish. This one down. There are so many fish right here. I mean, it's every cast you're getting hit. Any place you'd rather be?
Yep.
Well, we planned this trip a year ago just to be right here, right now. It's pretty cool.
Having the absolute time of my life.
Pretty cool.
I bet you could catch 50 fish in this one run.
And this is crazy fishing.
Your kids might go out and crap in the boat. Literally, if you did not net the fish,
Let's not do that.
plug in the mush.
There we go.
They've got nice one.
Yeah.
Double.
I can get to the line. I'll be happy. There we go.
I go up and have him first. They got that. I'm gonna try to cast over.
See if we can triple up.
Triple out. Here, I'll grab yours quick, David.
I haven't seen him yet.
Quiet. Look at that. He won't come in.
Oh, this is a good time. They don't tire easy, do they?
No, he sees me, he turns his head, and he just goes.
That's what they all do.
Like the lady.
Yeah, nice scoop, buddy. Woohoo!
Nice.
That's a pig.
Isn't that beautiful?
That's a great
Another
looking fish.
one.
Yeah, lunch is over. Brian, you were scooping. How many do you think you scooped?
30, 35.
30, 35?
Tired. It's a lot of work.
Did you miss any?
Nope.
Nope. All right.
I did fall down though.
I expect that. All right, so I got the pro on the oars, Engine Dan. He runs on Mountain Dew. Anyway, I thought I'd quick explain why we picked the Kanektok. So when Dan called me and said he wanted to do an Alaska do-it-yourself float, one of the things I remember saying is that I really wanted variety. I didn't want to go out and catch the same thing over and over. Catching a bunch of big kings would be awesome, catching a bunch of silvers, but catching a bunch of different species is what I talked about, and Dan was up for that. So we did a bunch of research on it and came up with the Kanektok in late July and August, and there's 5 species of salmon in this river. So we got silvers and pinks left to try to catch to get the slam. And this area, especially this mid-river area that we're at, is just full of Dolly varden, and they're gorgeous. They fight hard. Great fish. But that's why we picked the Kanektok River. Yeah.
Drifting. Just, I don't know if this
We gotta see it.
big as shit, actually. That's a big rainbow. Wow, cool.
Big rainbow, huh?
Big rainbow.
Want me to get out?
Well, we gotta keep close. He's all twisted up.
He's all lasso.
Your personal best rainbow right there.
That's a big boy.
That's an awful big fish.
Hey.
Landed one. Look at the size.
Holy moly. Can you show him to the camera here, Dan?
It's 25, 26.
Wow.
Nice fish. So check out how the river's really changed here. We've got fallen timber everywhere, tons of braids. This is a puzzle to get through. So we're keeping the boats close together, but it is really interesting. I'm going to be interested to look at all the video from the previous days. Every day the terrain has changed a little bit. We couldn't even find firewood on the first day and a half. What a wild river.
Truly wild. Been like this for 2,000 years or longer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's amazing. All right, obviously didn't film this, but that was a bit of an Alaska portage. Dan said, get out and stop us, and boom. I knew we were in trouble, but he knew what we were doing. We got the boat stopped, but it wasn't easy.
Kind of a nice spot.
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I turned the camera on, but I didn't tell you, Dan. That's a good one too. Beautiful fish.
There we go.
Doubles. I mean, this is, if you try, this is a 100 fish a day spot.
Yep. Grayling? Nope. A nice big thing.
Yeah, cool
Aren't they
fish.
cool?
Yep. Oh, I whacked one. Man, what a fishery. This is insane. I mean, this is what dreams are made of. Growing up in Minnesota,
Oh yeah.
catching little rainbows in Duluth.
Oh, that was a gas.
Oh yeah, there's nothing wrong with those fish. Heck yeah, man, we caught a lot. This is unlike anything else.
Basically, you just almost catch fish at will.
Oh, we popped up.
Look at all the sockeyes over here to the right. Oh, I'll just catch another fish. That's good.
Oh, it's a good one.
There we go.
Oh, Dan, it's a good one.
Yeah, I see him.
no.
He's there. He's there.
Oh,
He's there.
He might still be there.
Yeah, I know he's there. I can see him. He's just running at you.
He burned my fingers.
Yeah. Good. Just a nice char.
Jeez, he's just a jumper.
Yeah.
Come on, baby.
I can't.
I know.
Okay, grab this. Grab
Wear down.
Well, I'm gonna let you. You know, I got that on. I think it's trout.
There you go.
The biggest fish, I think.
All right, there we go. Okay. Okay, here we are. Stand in this spot. 5 minutes, we have 7 fish. Dan's got his right down there. He likes to let them run a little bit. Mine are right here. This is Nucktick Creek,
something like that.
but 2 buddies just up in Alaska having a great time.
Heck yeah. See it. There's a collection of sockeyes. Look at all the grizzly bear tracks. Lots and lots and lots of bear tracks. Look at that back foot right there. Long as mine.
All right, so we got our camp set up here. We're about a mile past Clack Creek, and pretty nice campsite here. We wanted to camp at Clack, but there's a guide on the water that's been super nice to us. He gave us some great advice, and we've been just kind of leapfrogging with them, and they got to Clack before we did. Anyway, we're all set up. We're just getting a fire going. We're gonna make burgers tonight. We got some people fishing. We got Mike fishing over there. Dan's fishing over there. Brian's taking a bath back here. There's a river back here. Or there's a cutaway back here that he's using to take a little bath in. And yeah, we're all set up. Super crazy day. Holy cow, did we catch fish. Unbelievable. Brian has taken his camp hygiene to seriously new levels.
Get myself cleaned up.
Jesus.
Gotta look good for the salmon.
Oh, we're having a good time out here. So it's meat day today.
Rooster roast.
So Dan is on the grill. All right, it's burger time. How are they tasting, Mike?
Fantastic.
After a day of catching fish, a burger. We had moose appetizer. On day 4 is a pretty wild day. What was the best part of the day?
Oh, I caught tons of fish. Thanks to my guides here. And they tied a lot of lines that get broke up here. So
right.
If you're going to come up here and you're going to go fishing, bring a lot of tackle because you will use a lot
All
of
right.
tackle.
Dan, what was the best part of your day?
I want to say that really big rainbow. I got a rainbow that was like 26-ish,
Yeah,
but
kind of fun surprise.
I think honestly it was looking up and being within about 60 yards of a grizzly this morning at camp. Scared the heck out of me, but man, that was cool to see him right there. I don't
Well,
ever
that
want to
was
be
cool.
closer to a bear than that, but yeah.
Mike, what are your thoughts?
I'd have to say the highlight was watching you and Dan fish together.
Yeah, that was fun.
And
That
then,
was a good thing.
And then seeing Brian finally get out there with a fly rod.
Turned him into a fly fisherman
Fly
today.
fisherman, yep. It can be done.
Even a
Thanks,
lefty
guys.
can fly
Yeah,
fish. It was looking good too. Looked a bunch of fish.
He had a fish on that was so big it pulled his pole completely under the boat. So that was pretty fun to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll lift that up again.
That's why he catches fish, folks.
We're a third of the way through the trip. What do you wish you had more of?
Cold beer.
How many beers did we bring?
2 each.
4 total. All right, good morning. Day 5's underway. So Dan, you tied all these flies months prior to this trip. How does it, the expectations fit with the reality of being here today?
All I needed were beads. At least for the trout and stuff. The salmon, you know, we haven't found the setter yet. I did tie a fly that I caught 2 kings on. You know, I didn't know what fly the king would want, so
Yep.
we had to tie a lot.
Yeah,
I caught 2 kings and landed them on a fly, and that's pretty cool.
So we could have gone to Michael's Arts and Crafts and geared up with beads, or Dan's fly shop in his basement, which is pretty incredible. I don't have any film of that. Maybe we'll add some personal pictures that Dan had when he was prepping here, but hours and hours of fly tying to prepare for this trip. I'm not showing even a fraction of what Dan has for gear. All right, when we booked this trip, we originally booked a 10-day float, same distance, and we added a day because we said, it's so far to go, let's just spend an extra, we'd much rather have 1 extra day on the river than 1 extra day sitting in Bethel or Anchorage. And I'm really thankful for that now, specifically because we still have incredible weather. All right, we're just sitting around talking about the day, and Brian made a goal.
I am not falling in that river again.
How many times do we got?
Two.
Two.
So little
to here?
advice. Yeah. You get a bath. So here's the challenge. There are some spots of the river where it's really, really, really slippery. I mean, it's hard to walk on. So
Dan floats rivers for a living, and he said this is the slipperiest rocks he's ever seen.
yeah. So it means something.
Yeah, that means
So
something.
just be prepared
So
for that.
You've gone in twice. I've gone in twice. Mike's gone in 3 times.
And Dan.
0.
Oh,
So we're keeping track of that one. That's a good score to
So
keep track of.
So what's the moral of this story, folks? Dan's got river legs.
River dance.
If you need to go fishing with somebody.
I'm definitely using that.
Come on, Dave, flap your arms. Get a little lift, Whoa, 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 whoa.
We're shooting the movie.
We were shooting a movie.
Cut. Well, there should be fish right in here, don't you think? All right, so tip at the indicator. Drag free drift.
You don't need to feed in
Little mend.
Remember your set's low and across to your left.
Okay.
All I do here is just strip in just a little, just to get your line a little, that
Yeah.
big one there out.
Just to get a little closer.
That will give your line a little bit more for when you set, you don't
Mhm.
have that drag. Now you're good there. Just mend that little bit up. There you go. There is.
So we broke camp maybe an hour ago, and I think this is number 10. I haven't been filming them because it's kind of the same thing over and over, which is fun to do, but it doesn't make a great film. We got Mike rowing like crazy. Is this a grayling? Big grayling. Been catching, I think I've got
That's 10 fish.
10 fish. I got 7 dollies, 2 grayling, and a little tiny male king salmon. But that's pretty good for an hour. That is pretty good. Thanks, Mike.
Yo, see him out there?
Yeah.
Blue.
Boy, he does look blue. Yeah, that's what we're looking.
Spots. All I was doing was just catching dollies.
Have you caught a dolly in a while?
Yeah, a couple of them. Get out.
All right, we thought we'd see some silvers today.
We got one.
Good job, Brian. Way to put him on that fish.
You rode me right into it.
You're doing great back there, buddy.
Wow. You got the boat okay now, bro?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay, good.
It didn't look good. You better not have that on.
I do have it on film, actually.
No. That gets cut.
I'll decide what gets cut.
Oh, come on now. I'm going to protest. Who's right?
I've been fighting this fish for a while. Screaming hot run. Let's see if I can kind of beach him. Stay right there.
This is where the rodeo starts.
Is it a silver? That's a sockeye. Damn. I mean, that was a lot of fun. He ate it.
What is it?
So after 5 days, I think everybody's got their routine down for setting up camp. Everybody's kind of got their roles together. But the cadence seems to go, get the water set up, get the water filtering, get the cook tent, the bug tent up and running, get everything ready so we can eat if we need to, and then start popping the tents up.
And you got to come up with a backup. Because if the main guy happens to hurt his back, then there's got to be a backup.
Yeah, no more hauling coolers out of the boat for me for a little while. We'll see how the Tylenol goes. That's a good point. We got camp set up. Dan's going to the grocery store.
Only food if he doesn't catch any fish. We're eating Snicker bars.
Yeah, we got candy bars, a bunch of lettuce, tortillas. So Dan, we're counting on you.
All right.
You're in Alaska.
Pressure, no pressure, Dan.
Back from the grocery store. Tacos tonight.
Nice, Dolly's.
Dolly.
All right, we sent Dan to the grocery store. He came back in a couple minutes with 2 Dolly Vardens, so I think we're sitting in a pretty good spot here.
Well, we have a little Alaskan whiskey here. You know, we're on the, the lamb.
It's a little rugged.
It's a little rugged, so we got a little bourbon. Smoother than Jack Daniels.
Well, that's not saying much.
No, but not as good as Gentleman Jack.
So when you asked Brian to do a whiskey review, everything is based off of Jack Daniels.
Well, because it's bourbon.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. Whoa, whoa.
Yeah. Skull.
Skull.
This is going to be some fresh fish tacos. First time filleting a Dolly Varden.
Yeah.
Before you make comments in this video, notice he's got a glove on. We are in the middle of nowhere, southeast Alaska. Precautions are being made.
Fish soup.
Nice. All right, we're making Dolly Varden tacos for the boys today. Dan caught this off the camp. Little Mexican rice to go with it. All right, what do you think, Mike?
Unbelievable.
Dolly Varden tacos.
There's fairly few people in this world that Dolly Varden.
Check that off the list. Dolly Varden tacos. Now we're really enjoying this tent. We rented this tent out from Papa Bear Adventures. And the first day we put it up, it was like 10, 11 o'clock at night. I mean, it's still light out here in Alaska. But it took us, Brian, how long do you think the first time?
40 minutes?
It's actually kind of fun now because we've learned so many little tricks. This is the 5th or 6th time we've done it. And Brian's pounded his steak into just absolute stones, but he's making it work. What do you think, Dan?
Well, I'm just wondering why he doesn't have my tent up yet. Oh,
He
he rode the boat for me all day.
rode the boat and did the dishes.
What else?
But
I love
pretty cool. We're pretty happy with this tent. It's a 6-man tent. Well, obviously we've only got 2 guys in it, which is awesome. If we had bad weather, we could get all our gear in there. We could change our clothes in there. We could do everything, keep dry. But check out this this gazelle tent right here. This is a bug tent. The first day we put this up, it took 2 of us about 45 minutes to do it. We couldn't find instructions. It didn't make sense. They said it should go up in a minute. And now Mike puts this thing up all by himself in less than 5 minutes. Pretty amazing. You just do things a few times, you learn how to do it. But we're sitting on a little cool island here. We're gonna spend the day here tomorrow. Mike's fishing over there. They've been catching Dolly varden, some rainbows. A chum salmon got caught. The dollies that Dan caught for dinner, he caught right there. So we're gonna fish that riffle a little bit more.
This is what I'm going to use if the bear comes.
Holy moly, we haven't seen a soul today. Just southeast of Alaska, having a trip of a lifetime out here. We caught tons and tons of fish today. Just a question, Brendan. Why does everybody say be careful right after you almost have an incident? Be careful. Okay. Yeah, now that I almost had an incident, thank you. So of all the gear we rented out, these cots are my least favorite. I'm not saying I'm not sleeping well on them, but I hate setting them up, and somehow I got to be the cot guy. I'll do a time lapse of this cot setup, and I don't like this cot. Just want to be crystal freaking clear. Check out that handiwork. Obviously pretty happy with myself there. I would have set an all-time record, only I had it upside down. If this was Camp Olympics, that could have placed. I think I would have been proud of that effort. Oh, and if you're like, hey, those cots look really good, that's not a big issue, you shouldn't be concerned about those. Keep in mind, this is the instructions. Try reading those with a bunch of bugs on you. 11 p.m. the first day in Alaska. You got positive ID?
No. No, I was literally just trying to play with the sockeyes like I have been. And he just came out of nowhere. He chomped it hard. So,
All right,
let's find out.
let's play them out.
Yeah, I mean, he just looks good.
Going, hey, wait a minute.
Woo. Worked in.
He's going to go hide for
All right, so wrap up on day 5. We're at the halfway point. We're at Camp Nuckluck here is what we're calling it, but we're actually about 100 or 200 yards downriver from Nuckluck Creek, and on this cool little island that we found. So what was the best part of the day, Brian?
I learned how to roll, at least kind of. I only crashed just once. So I'm pretty happy with that.
How many times did you crash just prior to that?
About 15. So,
All right,
so my percent defect level going down.
going down. Dan, what do you think? What was the best part of the day?
Oh, I caught a lot of fish today.
You said that yesterday.
I caught a lot of fish today. And honestly, it was really cool because Brian rode more or less the whole day for me, it was just so kind of him, and he let me coach him along, and that was cool. And we came around this one bend, and it was clearly like gonna go bad, and we pretty smoothly bailed out of that one. Yeah, that was.
Was that your almost crash, or was that?
No, we had an almost crash where it just was an oops. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, we won't focus on those.
Yeah, but no, yeah, things actually, yeah.
Yeah, we
It
had
was,
a good day.
it was a fun day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Caught
Mike-
some good stuff today.
Mike, what are your thoughts on the best part of the day?
I rode all day long, and I felt very, very confident in the rowing. A little upset that Dan didn't mention that I rode him half the day yesterday. Then he made me switch boats and row, so not thanking me for rowing him all day
You're
long.
right.
As
Thank
he
you,
was-
Mike, for
as
rowing.
he
Guys,
was catching fish.
We're at the halfway point. Is the crew falling apart?
Oh,
Are we at odds?
I hope not.
Okay.
I think it's going to
Okay.
turn. It's going to turn.
Just an observation, right, Mike?
I think we hooked up in an hour. We had 10 or 11 fish you had.
That was a great start to the day.
Just boom, 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 boom,
Yep.
boom. And it was rowing was just beautiful. I mean,
Nice river to
you're
row.
just looking at everything else around there instead of concentrating on.
Yeah,
some
maybe a
indicator.
unique part of the trip I certainly didn't think about. It's fun looking at the river and thinking about the current and thinking about where you're going to put your fishermen and that sort of thing. I know, Dan, you do that all the time, but it's something I think the three of us have come to appreciate. All right, well, that's a wrap on day 5. Day 6, we're going to spend our entire time here, and we'll see what we catch. And we're just going to kind of relax, enjoy the company. We're going to make some pancakes in the morning. Hey, good morning, Dan. Beautiful sky behind you. Day 6, past the halfway point. Today is going to be all about island exploration. We got this little tiny piece of land here. We're going to see what we can do with it.
We're picking up tips every day and we get a little desperate here, and the fire didn't want to burn well, so we thought we'd do a little oxygen supply.
The raft pump. He just comes over with the raft pump and I'm like, this is a brilliant, look at this thing.
Yeah, that's working.
Well, I think we're good.
Huh?
I think we could do some blacksmithing.
Spend 6 days in the bush, you start learning how to use your equipment, you know?
That was such a good idea, Brian.
Yeah, nice job. We're going to talk about the fishing gear that we're using on this trip. So we got everything laid out here. Dan, you want to kind of take us through this gear?
You know, my first Alaska fishing trip, so I don't want to sound like an expert, but we have figured out some things that are working well for us. So Dave wanted, he's not primarily a fly fisherman, and he wanted a good, solid, serviceable rod that he could use both in Florida or in freshwater like bass fishing, as well as up here for salmon and trout. So I turned him on to the Echo Ion. It's a really great rod. It's a couple $100. We paired that with, it's an 8-weight. He's been catching trout on it. He's been catching salmon on it. Paired that with a simple floating line and a Redington Behemoth reel. These reels are just indestructible. They're just awesome. And this is just a rig. You're not going to go wrong up here with this rod. And it's a great rod for a lot of other applications besides Alaska. If you want to spend up or you like fancy equipment, I tend to have tastes that are a little too fancy. Orvis Helios 8-weight. I've caught sockeyes, chums, and kings on this 8-weight. The 8-weight is small for the kings, flat out small. Managed to get it done with some smaller kings, but we've had some big kings eat our lunch on it, I think. But the Redington Rise, I use these at home as a trout fishing guide in Wyoming, and they're fantastic reels. Not just for the money, they're fantastic reels, period. My favorite rod, and we have 2 of them here. Mike's been using this one for both trout and salmon, but this is the Sage R8. This isn't a 7-weight. This is also a 7-weight. They're identical rods, basically, just different colored backing is all. Put the Sage Large Arbor XL reel on them with weight forward floating lines. We've been using some sink tips. They're not 100% necessary. You can do what you need to, like right here, like you can see with split shot to get it down if you don't want to carry a whole bunch of extra spools, but the sink tip is kind of nice. Anyway, these are high-end rods and they're a joy to cast all day. That's the big difference between these and like the Echo, is that these are just a lot lighter. For the trout, dollies, and we've been having an absolute blast with dollies, grayling, and trout. Mike's been using a Cabela 6-weight. I've been using my Sage Igniter. I like a fast action rod. This is a 6, this is a 5. I actually caught a sockeye, about a 8-9 pound sockeye that ate the egg, silver sockeye, and I landed him on this 5-weight using 2X tippet. Not a problem. You can see here's the little egg. Just straightforward Alaskan bead rig. One thing we learned though is to play with that color of that egg, the color and the size, and that just really turned the tide for us. Our first day and a half, we were struggling to find very many fish, and as soon as we got the right egg, we were able to catch those smaller species without any trouble.
I'll go through the spinning gear that we brought with us. I brought 4 rods for our boat. I've got 2 rods that are specifically set up for Dolly, varden, rainbow trout, grayling, and these are these Starlight rods. This is a Starlight 6x14 pound. I've got 10-pound braid on here, and then I've just got it tied off to a double uni with a little bit of 6 to 12 is what I've been using, just mono. And we've been throwing these Blue Fox spinners. The spinners have been working better in the mid-river than they were in the upper river. And then for fish as we go down the river, we expect to get a little bit more into salmon. I've got a medium heavy St. Croix on a 4500 Penn Conflict. Again, 10-pound braid. I'm not going up on braid. I just don't think we need it here. Saltus MQ 4000 reel here. This is a great workhorse reel. I think this is specifically great for silver salmon as we get down the river. And you can see we've got flies on here that Dan tied that are for silver. So we're gearing up for that. I think our next leg of the trek is all going to be about the silver salmon. You know, we're keeping it real on Canal Life when we do a rod and reel review with some bear scat there. We are in the middle of nowhere, Alaska, and we're having a good time.
Why go out to eat?
Lemon pancakes today.
Not a bad job, buddy.
Thank you. Happy customer?
Oh, Dave Slapjacks are the finest.
Thank you, bud. Little pancake with your syrup.
Oh, beautiful.
Here, let's stay still. Let him go back to his spot. Oh, I can do this rod. You can feed it down. Oh, that's a pretty leopard one.
Pretty leopard rainbow.
Not a giant fish. Well, standard, but that's a great fish. Look at the spots in his cheek. Is that something?
Ooh.
Fish that, but the next time a little closer to that bush over there.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna
Yeah, he didn't surprise me, which, you know, happy about that.
This isn't keeping what our research suggests, but there are the rainbows and the
Yeah.
almost identical fish to this one's a little bigger than the first one.
So this is a real series about fishing Alaska. And what just happened here, Dan?
I re-rigged because I broke off and immediately, instantly threw it in a bush and broke up.
That bush right there?
Yeah.
There's trout all in this pocket, and now we're retying.
With the big rainbow below it that now knows I'm here. And
Well, I just wanted to make sure people knew we were keeping it real.
yeah,
You know.
we are keeping it real.
All right, Brian and I were just kind of getting camp set up, and we heard Danielle Silver, so I think he's telling us to come running. He doesn't like Mike.
But everybody likes Mike.
Yeah! Go, Dan. Nice catch.
Whoa.
That's a sockeye. Lucky day.
He looks pretty tired, but not tired enough.
Here's the king.
Bring him over here, Dan.
Mike, work. Look at that. What a beautiful fish. Right in the corner of the mouth, just like you'd like to see.
Well, I got a name.
Oh, orange. Oh, it's an orange starlight. Oh, hand's starting to hurt. Come on. Got an awful lot of big fish today. You get him noticing about it? Is see, I mean, his body shape is different, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he's got the spots. Right?
Silver, yep.
And the sockeyes don't have those spots on the top, right?
Yep.
So that is a silver salmon for sure.
God.
Which means that other one is a silver.
Yep,
right?
yep.
Yeah, I mean, he just looks good.
Going, hey, wait a minute.
Woo. Work, Dan.
Gonna go.
I'm coming to see what the secret sauce is here. Dan's got 3. I've got 0. We're using the same fly. You got Dr. Juice on that thing? Are you getting them to bite pretty regularly?
Yeah, somewhat. You know, there's a little guessing game with the whole thing. That last silver just, again, is sinking. He just flattened it. And here comes a pretty good pot of them.
Can you talk me through what you're trying to do?
Okay, so I'm trying to get this fly at their level, just kind of right in their face. And that's going to happen. I think I'm pretty good. Oh, boy, that felt like a tick.
And you're
Sometimes
feeling?
it's the bottom. And I'm trying not to play chase me. But
Yeah.
just wait for the next group. There's just a couple here. Anybody on it? Oh, yep, on it.
Nice. Nice, Dan.
Silver, I think. Did you see him turning?
I did, yeah. Oh, I could have caught that one. Well, I came over here for a lesson, Dan.
Look at these things go.
You are across the river and through the woods. You're on the way to grandmother's house, Dan.
Oh, God. Pop to the left, right, to the right. Swing it through. Swing it through. Keep going right. Keep going right. Swing. You're not swinging it. See.
I don't.
You're just dangling it.
How do I swing it?
Pull the rod tip.
Pull it which way?
Here's, you know, in front of them.
So here's a big pod down there. I'm not on them yet, though, right?
So rod that way. Keep going.
Oh, it's right in front of them.
Go back. I saw your fly line stop.
Yeah, I did too.
Yep, stop. Okay, here it comes. Ready to go right. Maybe. Yep.
Oh, that sure looked like a take.
Yeah, that's what it's like. Coming through, swing that rod over. Just open your mouth.
Oh, that was a hit.
There you go.
That was a hit.
Now you got the right.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what.
That little outside group there.
I know what I was doing wrong now. Oh, I should have hooked one there. I had two takes.
Maybe back there. Yep. Oh, yeah, you grabbed it.
You did, yeah. Oh, that's a hog.
Yeah, didn't you see him take it?
I didn't.
Oh, yeah, he followed it to grab it. Yeah.
That was a hog. Oh, there's got to be an eater in there. There we go. Check out the claw marks from a bear, likely. Pretty amazing to learn how to do this. Awful nice to have a brother who's a professional fly fisherman. That was pretty cool. What do you got? We're on a heck of a bite.
Fast.
Are you getting tired, Dan?
Yeah, I'm exhausted.
Any idea how many you've caught?
No. I don't. It's crazy.
I know he's probably up around 80 because I'm at 32.
You know, if you just take, if you get it, I'm getting good at getting it right on their face, and they just. No.
Well, we'll see you in a while, Dan.
Yeah.
Enjoy the walk.
Man, they're hard to stop.
There goes that man again.
I just like walking up and down here.
I wonder how many steps you're gonna
get in today.
Do you have a pedometer on? All right, Dan finally got off the river after a couple hours. Dan, how's your hand feeling?
I can't feel it.
Why is that?
Fighting fish and casting. Yeah. I just can't believe how many salmon I caught.
So Mike, we'll ask an independent person. How many do you think Dan caught?
I bet it's over 150 fish.
I watched it. All right, well, he's gonna get back out there, I'm sure. But we're taking a break. Salmon on the fire. How we doing on lemon salmon?
Better than any fish place I've gone to.
It's good dinner. The wind is picking up, and I don't know about that. We could be in for a rough night tonight. All right. What do you got, Dan?
Another chom. Just a nice, pleasant thunk.
That's all we're looking for as fishermen, isn't it, Dan?
A pleasant thunk.
Yeah. All right. We think this is 153, but we kind of lost count, to be honest. Mike's the official counter. I don't know.
It's
Are you? You're past the toes.
he's pretty. Yeah, it's.
Every
We're
time.
counting hairs now.
Every time I looked at him, he had a fish on today. Beautiful fish. Thanks, buddy.
Like that? You sucked it right in, didn't you?
This is Nukluk Island Day, where we just kind of chilled out. So we'd have loved to have a pedometer on Dan today. He would hook them there and land them down here. And I got some of that on video. I'm sure I put that in here. What was the best part of the day, Dan? Don't tell me you caught a lot of fish.
I caught a lot of fish today. That was the best day of fishing in my life.
All right, Brian, what was the best part?
Best part of my day was watching Dan catch a lot of fish.
Mike?
Watching Dan catch a lot of fish seems
It was pretty entertaining. It was pretty entertaining to watch a fishing show in front of us. Filming a movie here. So anyway, watching Dan fish is like watching a pro athlete punt the football. Wouldn't you say? I mean, things just happen differently than they should. And that was pretty amazing, Dan. Thanks for putting on the show for us. The one salmon I caught on the fly rod, Dan said, cast here. You said, strip, 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 set. And that's the one I caught. And then I was done. And then I watched him do it. So awesome day of fishing, Dan. It was fun to watch.
It was. Thanks, guys.
Day 7, we're going to go down. We're going to see if we can find more silvers. That's the plan for tomorrow. We don't know where we're going to camp, but honestly, had a great camp here. Less the bear encounter, but you know, it's Alaska.
The bear was just right over here.
The bear this morning was over there. Mike scared it off with his warrior cry.
Last one of the day. I
good.
have to be done. I have to be done. I can't feel my arm.
At some point, you got to quit, Dan.
Yeah. These are drugs. Yeah.
It's day 7. We did a layover day, so we got here day 5 on this little island. We stayed all through day 6. Last night it rained a little bit, just a slight little drizzle. Brian decided to burn all the wood that he collected. We
How did I check in, Brian? How's the body feeling?
Body's feeling pretty good. Had a little bit of fatigue from not oaring very much in the past, so having a day off and letting those muscles rest help a lot. And nice fire helps too.
Yeah, and I echo that. I got hurt a couple days earlier rowing, just my back locked up real bad. So just some advice, if you're new to rowing and you're going to do this do-it-yourself trip, maybe spend a little time in the gym specifically rowing. Dan, we'll check in on you. You roll for a living. How's your back doing?
I'm fine.
And here's our bear watcher, Mike. That's good. How's your body feeling?
Fantastic.
It looks fantastic.
Chicks out here are really digging me.
You're bringing camo and compression pants. If they weren't back in style, they are going to be the style.
I know everybody asked us about bears before we were getting ready for this trip, so I thought I'd have Dan explain what we're doing for bear protection.
So I've been carrying this 10mm on my hip. It was recommended. It's got a 220 grain solid lead bullet in it. I'm no expert on trying to kill a bear, and I hope I never have to. That said, if I were doing this trip over, this is compact and I carry it, and so it's on me all the time, but I would feel completely comfortable with nothing but bear spray. I really would. These bears, we've seen a whole bunch of them. I don't know how many have we seen now, maybe 12. But yeah, all that said, I'd feel completely comfortable with just nothing but some pepper spray. And I think maybe one firearm in camp at least would be a good idea.
Yeah, and I'd say the 10mm for me is just giving me some confidence when I go to bed at night.
Yep.
I just got it under my cot just in case I hear something crazy. That's our thought on bears in Alaska, Southeast Alaska. At least our experience on this trip.
Mike's fighting a good sockeye. There's a big grizzly just down there. I don't know if you can see it.
fighting a salmon with the grizzly bear.
All right, Brian, well, thanks for cooking up this little heater for us.
The reason I had Dan explain what we were doing for protection is we had a camp encounter today, and Mike is here living to tell about it. So what'd you see this morning, Mike?
All right, I think it's about 5:30, and if you want to pan right to that little deadfall that's just about the river, whatever.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I looked up there, and I must have startled the bear because I was taking care of my business, and it ran across the river. I said, Dan, there's a bear. And I mean, he's literally 50 yards from your guys' tent.
But he reacted to your voice in a positive way?
Yeah, he didn't want any part of us. He went to the other side of the river.
Did it scare you at all?
It did a little bit. And I figured that your guys' tent was closer to them, so he'd get you before me.
Oh, I don't like camping with experienced guys. Is going to get me killed.
Did you hear the gulls this morning screaming?
Yeah.
Where was that at?
That was upriver here.
Okay, that's.
I think that bear was fishing up through here. And this channel behind us is so full of salmon.
Thanks for scaring him off, Mike.
You're welcome.
Saved my life.
Yep. Add that one to the list. Okay, we're setting sail. Day number 7, looking for silver salmon.
Braided all over no matter where you went.
Check out this bad boy. We were going through this, and it was a little gnarly, so I didn't video it. This is a big boy.
Doing okay, Brian? Yep. Just careful.
Woohoo!
See that bad boy? Whoa.
Choose your own adventure. 1, 2, 3. That's pretty cool. These side channels, you could stop at any one of them and catch, you know, Dolly varden all day long, it seems like. Dan worked a couple of these pockets and pulled a few nice fish out while we were just kind of taking a break. Good, you got to keep the guy on the oars happy, right, Dan?
Yeah.
You can't let him just row all day nonstop. If it looks cold and sounds windy, it's because it's cold and windy today. So we're fishing. You can see it's deep water here and it slopes in. He wants to be right on the edge. There we go. Go east or go west. It's all up for you to decide. Oh, where you going, buddy? We're in a braid in the lower third of the Kanektok right now, and it is full of fish. I'm not recording barely anything. Just one after another. He's on fire over there. Brian's a fly fisherman. I think this kind of water, Dan, could turn anybody into a fly fisherman. Do what you gotta do.
Unbelievable. There we go. That's what I just need to stand up and do it like that. And then scoop him in like that.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
About 4 dollies just chased this rainbow, tried to eat the egg off of his face.
This fishing's insane. Oh, what a beauty, Dan.
Yeah, look how pretty that.
Goodness sakes, man. I'm glad.
I sight fished this. I looked down and was like, oh, there's one. And
So we got a little eddy here. I'll explain where you'd put that.
just there's a little bit of an edge right here. Then
Yeah.
there's a bunch of salmon up there. So I thought, oh, there's probably, you watch, I bet you I get a dolly next right up there.
All right, I'm going to keep rolling. I'm not going to cut the film here. Okay. This is keeping it real, canal life style. Don't let the viewers down. So I'll put a timer on that, Dan, on the video.
Yeah. There's more dollies chasing him right there. Dolly, cast number 2.
All right.
See if we get one done past him.
Let's keep the counter going.
You can tell if good fishing when there's bear tracks.
We like to fish where we find the grizzly bear tracks. The reality is, where you go, there's grizzly bear tracks. We've been out here for 7 days so far, and we've only had 2 grizzly bears in our campsite. Both of them went away no problem.
Oh, does that count?
Yeah, that counts, Dan.
Yeah.
That's actually harder to angle that.
Oh, I caught Nemo. Sorry, buddy.
That's the second little fry we've caught today.
Third.
Is it the third?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I'm still running. You're tangled. Even the pros get tangled, people. They just get untangled a lot quicker. All right, he's on a timer. How fast can he catch 3 fish? No, a little one. Is he gonna get bigger?
Okay. Pretty. That's a grayling.
Oh, grayling. Three species
3 species.
with the clock running, Dan. I'll let you land this one here, and we'll say goodbye to this experiment. We wanted fly fishing of a lifetime, and I think we're getting it.
Yeah.
All right. I stopped because we were going to only stop at 3 fish, but now we're 5 for 5, so I had to turn it back on again.
Yeah.
There goes that man again. So something I've been doing is just leaving them in the net like this, grabbing the line, getting the hook. See, he's just chilling. Hooks out, dump. I had at least 50 today, I think, Dan. I think that's being conservative.
Yeah, I do too.
And I'm just learning now. I'm learning that's a pretty effective way to get them off quick, because they go crazy when you grab them. I don't want to hurt their slime layer and all that. Leave them in the net, pull the line tight, find the hook, boom. I'm using a Sage Igniter 5-weight. I borrowed this from my brother, and I got a Spectrum, a Sage Spectrum LT reel. Seems to be doing work on some beautiful fish out here. The line is called Real Gold.
It's funny to me that people, that's nice.
Nice rainbow.
It's funny to me that people will spend up on rods and reels, but then they go cheap on line.
Yeah.
If anything, you go cheap on rods and reels and spend up, always buy a good thing.
So you think line's more important than rod and reel?
The most important thing in the whole casting equation.
Get in here, buddy. Yeah, thank you, Dan.
Yeah, good rainbow.
Nice rainbow. All right, buddy. She gone. All right, the engine needs some fuel. I'm gonna go in, fuel it up. Mountain Dew time.
Mountain Dew.
How's that tasting?
Refreshing.
You just take a fork, scoop in a piece of salmon, rice with mushroom in it, with our Dolly varden. Thank you, Dan.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Thanks for getting the fire. Well, the end of another beautiful day, sitting around the fire.
So the reason Brian and I are doing the wrap up is Dave's fighting with a back injury, and he's actually been fighting it for a few days now. So he went to bed early, tried to get rested up, be okay for tomorrow. He caught a lot of fish just sitting in the front of the raft. So Mike and I rode all day. We caught out of the mountains, and it's lower country, and the river's bigger. I mean, it's beautiful. I caught a king salmon today. That was pretty cool. Just accidentally on trout gear. That was pretty fun.
Yep. And I personally caught 30, 40 fish. There were times that probably 5 casts in a row that you had a fish on the line, and so that's pretty exciting. That's fun.
All right, it's the morning of day 8. It was incredibly windy. We you can see our camp is blowing, and we are missing something. Our beloved bug tent shot off into the sky. I happened to be up taking care of some business, and she gone. That's the windiest night I've ever had. We've had 7 days of absolutely great weather, and then Alaska, the 8th day, came to bite us with some serious wind. So we broke a pole, stakes came out of the ground. It was a real super night's sleep last night.
Okay, you stay there.
Oh, I'm not moving because the tent will fly away if I get up.
Yes, it will.
Brian's doing a little tent technician work outside. Should be getting paid hazard pay.
Yeah, I didn't sleep very good either.
Kind of roll rafts on this could be a little dangerous.
Okay.
We should try to wait to see. Worst thing that happens is we lose a day.
Hey, look at the bright side. Like that. There's no bugs. Reset all the stakes. Reset all the poles. I'm good now. This thing was falling apart. The 6-man Cabela's tent really put through the paces last night. There was some serious wind. All right, little thoughts on the day. So we said this was going to be a camping trip, a fishing trip, and a survival trip. And I think last night was kind of the survival day.
Yeah.
Dan, you camp a lot. What was that like?
Well, our weather was fine other than the wind came up in a ferocious way and it was blowing pretty hard.
as you were coming down the river yesterday, but it calmed down toward evening, and so we just sort of found a spot where we thought it would be sheltered. Turns out it's not as sheltered as we were hoping.
Brian's got some Barney Rubble logs.
Hey, this is our entertainment. We have no TV, no radio,
We got you,
no
buddy.
Taylor Swift. Oh,
Give us a
how will we survive?
I thought I charged your phone for you. A good safety tip that Brian did last night is he took the satellite phone out of the raft. So if the raft were to go poof, with that amount of wind, it gave us a little bit of confidence. At least we had the satellite phone safe. It woke up, raft's obviously still here. They're tied down, they were safe, but it was good thinking to take the sat phone out.
Always tie your raft down, always.
Go to sleep, it's nice and calm.
Well, you can get rain upriver and have the water come up unexpectedly high and wash it away.
Yeah.
Had things like that happen.
All right, taking our tent down in the wind. One thing we realized is we should have left it staked in. Hang on there, Bessie. It's like bucking Broncos, Brian.
Yeah. That will pack up and head down river and not worry too much about fishing today until we get to our campsite, wherever that is. And we'll start looking around 5.
It's just too windy to have a day like we've been having.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, it's
All
just,
right.
Pull the stakes out. We learned that.
Oh yeah?
Very bad. We made a bad mistake there.
If it's still blowing like this when we make camp, maybe we'll work together, put one tent up at a
Yep.
time all together.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
That's a lot easier way to do it right there.
Look at that. You didn't have to wrestle it like a grizzly bear.
Water last.
Been asked to take water samples on the river for an environmental team. They're checking to see the impact of the permafrost melting on the clarity and quality of the water here in Alaska. So we take a sample every morning, record the pertinent information and record the GPS coordinate systems for them, and then we'll return it at the end of the trip.
Awesome, thanks for doing that.
50.2 for the water, 52.5 for the air.
Wind camp was all of that, wasn't it, Dan?
It was a windy camp.
It's literally too windy to fish. I've got a couple of rainbows, maybe I've got three or four rainbows, one sockeye and a grayling. It's just too windy to fish right now.
Probably the highest sustained winds I've ever been in my life. They are eating it.
Yeah, cool.
I mean, they're like chomping.
Nice one. Brian, remember when we were putting on suntan lotion?
Yeah, worried about getting sunburned. Not today.
Just 2 days ago, we were laying in the water trying to get cool. Worst part of the day, honestly, is so sunny and hot. We all brought warm clothes, and I'm just wearing, so I'm gonna jump in the river before we go to bed.
Today we're getting frostbit over the sunburn.
Oh, this is cold. You don't care. Wow, on a spinner. It's like 5 o'clock right now. And what's hard is you want to keep fishing all day. The sun doesn't go down until 11:30 or so at night. And you kind of lose track of time when you're chasing fish. But we sort of just figured out silvers. We've landed 4 maybe, hooked a whole bunch more. I know tomorrow will be a better day, but we got to set up camp. It's still cold and rainy and still windy. But we're looking for a campsite, and we're trying to find one that has wind protection. And this one might do it, Dan. Yeah, I like this one. It's our camping spot. All right, it's our first rain day. Started raining as we set up, so everything but Brian's dry. So we got to put everything together from the inside of the tent. What do you think? We have it's beer day today.
Oh, beer day.
And the beers are a ways away.
Here you are.
Oh, a little dinner.
And here's the beers. I'll be in a minute. Turn one's hot.
Oh, wet. Little Japanese barbecue salmon made in a vestibule in the rain.
Day 8, what we've all been waiting for.
Oh, a little day 8 brew.
Hold on. Oh, first canned beverage in a long time.
Oh, nice, Bort. We got a dry situation in here. Good canal beer here on a rainy night.
Perfect.
Well, that meal was awesome, Dan.
Oh, you're welcome.
What? I'm going banana bread.
Whoa. Oh, I'm trying to eat. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
Yep, Dan.
And we're gonna have to do our nightly wrap up individually, thanks to the rain. So I'll kick it off because I got the camera. I'll kick it off. The best part of the day, we figured out silver salmon. We had to go a little further than I thought, but we did figure them out, and we ended up catching some fish on jigs that Dan tied up specifically for silvers. So I think that bodes well for tomorrow. Obviously the weather turned on us. We still made do. Got a little cold, got a little wet, but nothing too severe really. I mean, last night's windstorm was brutal. We're gonna get some silvers tomorrow. Another good part of the day was day 8, and Brian rationed out beers, and for some reason he said day 3 and day 8. So we're enjoying our last beer of the trip. And so thanks for thinking about the beers.
Yep. Well, the beer is one of the highlight of the day. We had a great supper again. We had fresh salmon that we just caught out of the lake, and again rice. So the eating's been pretty good. Out of the river, that's right. Jeez. Well, not enough beer here, evidently, you folks can tell. So
Brian is, thanks to my back injury, Brian's working extra hard.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Appreciate you, Brian, for helping me out. No, it's hard when you got a man down, but thank you so much. All right, we'll get some silvers tomorrow.
Day 9. Had a bear late last night walking in the water right along here. Came over and sniffed around, but that brutal wind and rain, at least right now, gone. And I'm really happy about that. It was, boy, the last 2 days were really tough. Tough to fish, tough to move. My spirits have been lifted by that broken up sky, sunrise. See what today brings.
All right, well, it's the start of day 9. I didn't film a lot yesterday due to the weather. We completed our mission, which was go down the river far enough to find the silvers. This camp worked out pretty good in that the wind was blowing this way, and we got a lot of shelter from this little bit of brush here. Little triumph after a wet day.
Already caught a silver salmon this morning. So.
Today's a good one.
Let's go.
So I ran into Mike this morning. He's got a little bear encounter for us.
So last night, about 2 in the morning, maybe 3, I hear what sounds like me running through the water in waders, and figured out that it was a bear going right behind all of our tents.
You get nervous at all?
I was thinking about it. I grabbed the guns.
That's what it's for. Hopefully we never have to use it. They seem pretty shy. Learning any tricks on how to do these?
Yeah.
Well, use the rocks. Use sand. Bring one of these little scrubbies. It's not all fun stuff. Brian's got the glamour job. Again, we got some good instant coffee going. Nice fire. We're just saying how much we enjoy this beautiful weather. Yeah. Really lucky. It could have gone really bad, and it still could, but we're gonna enjoy it right now.
I think our goal is to just fish from the boat and head all the way to Alaska West, in and around their area, and then decide from there, try to find a good campsite. I think the lower we go, the better the silver fishing probably gets anyway.
We broke camp That was the rain camp that we broke, or mud camp, I don't know what you want to call it. We're gonna go for a couple hours and then try to find a good campsite and catch some silver salmon off of that. I got Brian on the oars today. He's pumped.
Pumped. Roll me away tonight. Not roll, but roll.
Into the wind. It's amazing. For 3. That's not a silver. A pink! Here we go! This is an awesome surprise. There's a slam.
Yeah, there's my slam. It's an off year, so we know there are not that many of them. Look at that cute little devil.
So pinks run on even years in this river, but that is Dan's slam.
Yeah.
That's the 9th
Salmon
species,
slam.
Dan, you've caught.
Yeah, that's cool.
Species number 9.
That's amazing that happened. All right, you got it?
Yep.
Bye, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you, slamfish.
In the mud.
Bam!
Cast it hard.
No, they're not hitting my bug. Doubles, doubles. Mike, why is your reel making that funny sound? Check out the bear prints right here.
This is really something fun. I'm not sure which one, how many this is now. 5?
No, you had 5 earlier.
This is, look at that. They're a nice sized fish. Woo!
Beautiful.
All I saw as we were floating by were 2 of them come to the surface, and I thought, well, that's what we're here to do. Let's go into this little backwater and see. And it's loaded. Second or third.
This is, I think, number 7 or 8.
I mean, look at that. That's a great
Yeah, you tied these flies. That is a good one.
So the flies I tied for this trip were all recipes given to me a longtime fisherman and guide, who's long retired. He's like, just follow these, and I followed the recipes just meticulously. I'm sure it paid off. We haven't fished any of these patterns. Hats off to Fred Johnson is the name of the guy I worked with, who gave me some help. He's a real kind guy. And some of these patterns are out there. Like this is a starlight. This one is one that you can buy. But some of the others, some of the most effective ones we fished, his pattern that he just refined.
It's crazy because I'm fishing this right now, and it hasn't been touched.
Yeah.
They want that pink, it seems like.
Pink color.
That's pretty cool. See, the main river's here, and this is just the backwater. And we pulled 18 silvers and 1 pink out of here. And now it's kind of put down, so we're going to move on to the next spot. The motor's running out of gas because of all this wind. He's had to row down current because the wind's pushing him. So I gotta feed him a little bit of energy. Here you go, buddy.
That's the nicest thing.
That'll keep you going for another 2-3 hours. What do you think?
Yep.
All right, 2-3 hours on the Milky Way. Look at him go after that Milky Way.
Oh, look at this.
He's cruising.
Power. Got an extra 3 volts to work with.
Yeah, hooked up.
That's ridiculous. That's the biggest one.
Yeah, it's a big boy.
I don't know if I can net him without destroying my back.
David, I can't lift him. I can't lift him. Whoa!
Look at this pig.
You got him, Brian?
Yeah. Can you handle that bad boy, Dave?
That's a bad.
Oh, look at
that. Oh, good thing I gave you that Milky Way bar to keep us going.
Oh my goodness.
Goodbye, sweetie. What a fight.
Good job.
Yeah. You just So this kind of rig seems to be working pretty good, especially in this wind. I'm having a hard time casting my fly line in the wind, but I'm able to throw this on my spinning rod and it's working. We're getting soaked now. How you doing back there?
Wonderful. I love the Alaska summer. We need a little windshield wiper here today.
They're hooked up back there. That dude's always hooked up.
Second hookup on silvers from. Oh yeah, here's the boundary. Okay, we know right where we are. Yeah. That's a dark. Well, I'm not sure what we got. Or is that a pink? That might be a pink now. Dolly, rainbows, grayling, kings, silvers, sockeye, chump, and a pink. So that's your super slam, isn't it? Yeah, 9 species, I think that is. Nice work. That was cool.
You know, camping's one of those things where it's worth it, you know, but it's small moments around a lot of work. You know what I mean, Brian? The wind stopped. It's got a little drizzle. My motor is definitely running out of gas. That Milky Way is long gone, used up. Now, I typically like places with a lot of grizzly tracks, so let's get out and check this out. All right, we got camp set up in the rain. The boys made a little cooking area. I think we're prepping some fish over here. There's plenty to eat. So we think this fish is in the river for less than 24 hours.
Yeah, it's got sea lice, little dots. My understanding is those only live for 24 hours once they hit the fresh water. So,
How many do you think you caught today?
I caught 18 silvers, and I probably lost another 12. I don't know.
They're tough. I lost a bunch today.
They fight so hard. They twist all over.
Yeah.
And jump. Oh man,
jump
it
and
was
spin,
fun.
and
It was fun. It was a fun day. Got a really nice rainbow actually while fishing these guys today.
and a pink.
And a pink salmon.
So,
Yeah, track the bears.
Dan's making fish for us. Silver salmon.
How's it going in there?
Good.
He catches, he cooks, he cleans.
It's raining. It's cold. It's wet. This is the life. Man, does this salmon smell good. And that's kind of taking away the stench from everything else. This is...
And that's something to be said.
Because it's really smart to cook in grizzly country in your tent.
This tent smells like a grizzly bear is going to enjoy it.
It will, but that's okay.
Finished product. Well, we're wrapping up day 9. We've got 1 full day left. What's the best part of day 9, Dan?
This food is pretty good. I caught a lot of silver salmon today, and that was really cool.
Mike, how about you?
Caught a pink.
Pink salmon.
Yeah.
That gave me all 9 species from the river for the trip.
Both Mike and I slammed today.
We did the slam.
Well, thanks again for cooking, Dan. Brian, what was your best part of the day?
Best part of the day was, I don't know, I had a good day rowing. There's some satisfaction in doing a good job at that and keeping your partner in the boat lined up. And
Yeah, you hooked me up some good fish.
yeah, so
Let's show them the worst part. Do you want to just spin around?
Yeah, I bought my new togs,
The frog togs.
and those are going to be returned, hopefully.
They lasted about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, we got a little rainy day cribbage. We're using weights as our pegs because pegs fell out. So anyway, we're dry. We're full. And we're playing cribbage for $1.
For $1, and by the way, Dolly needs.
I can't use Dolly. Needs a. Hey, Orville saved me.
Yeah.
We got pretty soaked yesterday. Got Starbucks Instant going.
Yeah.
Doing us well the whole trip.
Yeah, it's good coffee.
Cheers, buddy. All right, so we're sitting around a wet camp talking about what we could have done better or what we do different to stay dry. So for me, I only brought 1 rain jacket, which is really silly. That rain jacket is wetted through. I wish I'd have brought a secondary rain jacket.
Yeah, I should have heeded the advice. Bring a PVC coated coat like by Grundon's or another company. That they don't breathe, you're going to get sweaty underneath them, but you're going to be dry.
And Brian, you had a second raincoat, but it hadn't stood up the test of time. You put it on for the first time.
Yeah, the pants ripped, but the top's good, so I'll put that on today. And the thing I would do different is I'd probably pack more clothes.
Yeah, and one thing I did with packing is I used a bunch of small dry bags, and that way I felt like if one got compromised, the other would be okay. But I did put t-shirts in one and warm clothes in another. I think I would have just mixed it all up, just in case that did happen. But luckily the dry bags have been working pretty good.
Clothes get slightly damp, which they will. The best thing to do is to put them inside your sleeping bag with you at night. Two things, then they will dry out quite a bit, and then they're nice and warm when you go to put them in the morning, because they will not dry in the Alaska evening.
So the blue dot is where we are. I know that from Lower Duncan to Alaska West, these two yellow marks is a 4.5 hour float. I know that as the crow flies, that's 6 miles, but if you come in here large, you can see that it really braids and twists, so it's much longer than just 6 miles. So we want to be camped somewhere maybe here-ish.
This is our 9th camp breakdown. Brian, what do you think is the worst part of breaking camp?
I'm putting away a wet, dirty tent. Plan on getting a little bit wet and a little bit dirty.
Broke down, ready to go. We got the Minn Kota all charged up on whiskey last night.
Oh.
Booked this trip as a trip of a lifetime. Now that we're at the very end, I would say for me it is a trip of a lifetime, because I probably won't do it again. And I'm super glad that I did it. Created these memories with these guys. We had some challenges, and that's what this kind of trip's all about. But it definitely was a trip I'll be talking about for my entire lifetime, and that makes it for me a trip of a lifetime. Brian, what do you think? Was it a trip of a lifetime for you?
Yep, and to be able to say that you survived in the Alaskan wilderness for 11 days.
Yeah.
That's a great accomplishment, and a
Yeah.
goal, a life goal. You're over 50.
I do feel a little sense of accomplishment making it as many days as we did in Alaska. Now, we did have great weather the first few days, and now that we've had some inclement weather, it's a little harder, but we're fine. You know, luckily, you know, we're with two guys that are really skilled campers. They really helped us out. I think on my own, I'd have been in big trouble out here, but Brian, you'd have probably made it, but no way I'd have made it without the three of you guys. So go with some experienced people, use all their stuff.
Ready?
Yep.
Oh, no.
God save the queen.
Camera.
Every 2 to 6 hours.
That was my one thing I wanted to do today. Just get a silver salmon on the surface. You know, read about it, watch people do it, tie all these flies and try to do it. What was that fly? It's just a version of called a wog, or a polywog, I think. It's one of those ones that old guy told me to fish. But the popper got their attention, but they didn't eat it. This one he actually ate, a second cast. Real nice, sir. Stop. doing my thumb.
Cool. He got you. That's a big boy.
Up.
No, I knew that was gonna happen.
So good. Spot me, spot, Mike. Go right on there.
You having a good time?
Yeah.
Dude, that's a good one.
He felt a good one. Hello, number 12. He's going between your legs. He's somewhere there.
Mike, you'll do it.
Yeah, he is literally between your legs. Okay, here's how we're gonna do this. Yep, there we go.
You are in trouble. You just bought yourself another 5 minutes of fighting this fish.
Yeah.
This is better than I thought it would be, this silvers. I thought they'd be smaller.
Yeah,
And they're
some of them are just tanks.
and they're fully acrobatic too.
Yeah.
You know, they're not tired at all.
They're a really cool fish. I can't imagine.
I mean, the
I
connect.
can't figure out- Oh, if I came back, I'd want to do it for kings.
Yeah.
Now, I do these.
You know, the Kanektok has not disappointed us for variety.
No.
You know, that's what we're looking for.
And I've caught a few kings. They're colored up, and they're powerful.
Can we sneak out and get them? There he is. We had faith in you, Mike. That's a big boy, Dan.
I'll throw him away. He's not big enough.
That'd be some spoiled Alaska stuff, wouldn't it?
Oh, he saw me. Dirty.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, double net technique.
Go fast.
Cut.
It's a good fish.
Yeah. I got him, boys.
Nice job,
I want to keep that one for dinner. Hold.
Oh, he took a big run on you. Silver salmon on the Kanektok. Day 10.
Take a big deep breath. You got a long fight in front of you. Look at that thing. Oh, look at that.
All the Google Doc, the Zoom calls,
Yes, I'll come to
just to hook a fish like this.
where legends are made.
Get in there.
Yeah, look at that bad boy.
Biggest one, Mike? I don't know.
Wow, you-
All right, this little slough kicked out about 20 silvers.
All right, now you.
Maybe a little bit more than that.
Maybe a few more, but
Free, Mike.
we'll see if we can find another one. I'm just throwing this. I got a bullet weight on a fly here,
That's a nice fish.
on a spinning rod, and I'm just tying direct to the jig now. I was tying a leader earlier, and I just got lazy one day, and it hasn't affected a thing. They're hitting it directly, tied directly to the braid. So the wind's kicking up, so Brian literally has to row downstream to make any way. That's one thing, like if you're cutting it tight to the pickup, you run into a big blast of wind, you get some serious trouble getting your pickup. He's probably got another hour into him before I toss him a Milky Way or York Peppermint Patty or something like that.
York peppermint patty, that's
Yeah.
good.
He hits turbo power. If I give him a York, he's gone. So I don't know if I mentioned it yet on this video, but I did skunk him in cribbage last night. I made him play Taylor Swift as my reward, and that was pretty awesome. All right, we're trying to make plans on our final campsite. We don't want to get too far away from the pullout. This is an awesome spot. This is 2.6 miles from the pullout. But for us, we got to be there at 11 tomorrow. We got to have everything deflated, so we're going to pass on this one. But 2.6 miles up, that's a killer site right there to camp if you had time. So for campsites, I really liked this kind of stuff better. We've been putting our tent up without the stakes. It's a little hard to do with a little bit of breeze, but just put it up without any stakes in it and then stake it out as best you can on the rocks. But that's been working good because it's keeping our camp nice and clean. Camped on mud one day, that was a disaster.
Yeah, got
us
out of the wind.
Kind of had to. We had to get out of the wind. And we're setting up camp for the last time, and I wanted to put this on film because I think it's a good tip. I wish we'd have brought like a little gun brush or boar brush to get the dirt out of there. I'm sure someone has some solutions they can put down in the comments on how to do that. But these things obviously get full of sand and grit, and you can't get them in the peg. Good idea. All right, camp's going up. All right, we're cooking our last camp meal. We got some beans, some rice, and Dan's got some salmon under that foil. Hey Dan, quick question. If you could only bring one fly rod on this trip, what would it be?
Yeah, 10'7" weight. Perfect for all the salmon, except the big kings, and even then the smaller kings you could do. And you could do all the stuff we've been doing for trout and dollies and grayling with it.
If you could only bring one person to row the boat, that's the
big dumb guy. That's
the MVP for rowing as far as I'm concerned. All right, Mike, question for you. What's your memory or takeaway memory going to be from this trip?
You got to turn that off. You got to give us that question. There were so many of them. I'd have to say catching a fish with a brown bear in the background.
That's cool.
Was pretty exciting. That king salmon that I lost was huge.
Yeah.
I hope that makes the cut.
Yeah.
A fishing memory with my buddy.
Yeah.
And that was awesome.
Cool. Yeah, lifetime memories made in a trip like this, that's for sure. How's it looking, Dan?
Good.
Mike?
Spectacular.
All right. That's what we're looking for.
Fine job. Cookies.
So, found some debris laying around our campsite, and if anybody knows Brenda, who was in the Ozarks, I have her coffee mug. So let her know to give me a ring, and I'll get it back to her.
Friends has to eat. The food just ain't no good. Macaroni soggy, and the chicken tastes like wood.
All right, I asked for a wrap, and that's what I got, but I meant a trip wrap.
That was the Sugar Hill game.
All right, that was the Sugar Hill game, and that's a wrap on this trip.
No, that's a perfect wrap. Thank you, Mike.
Oh, 10 days floating the Kanektok. We're done. How's your hands doing, Dan?
They're great.
Of a man who caught what? How many hundreds of fish?
I don't know, a lot.
I'll do a little video today about how the Packout goes, just so people can see how this outfitter packs us out and gets us home.
You did it.
Last one. That's a properly packed boat. We sure do. Nothing like doing it 11 times in a row. All right, last camp. Packout camp. Even on Packout day, the guys are getting their samples. Dedicated to science.
We're done. We did our deed.
Nice job, scientists.
We're done.
And there we go. We'll see you down there. We just launched. We got to get to the pullout by 11 o'clock. I think we're ahead of schedule, maybe 45 minutes, half hour, which is what we're hoping to do. Hopefully we don't miss the pullout, because Brian really doesn't want to row upstream, I don't think. That's not the plan, right?
No, that is not the plan. My tip on rowing, For all you folks out there, find somebody else to do it. It's way more fun.
Tom Cruise organized a two-way offensive football game on this camping spot right here. Offense on both sides. How does it work? I don't know. So this is the part of the trip you forget about after a year or so. I'm gonna put it in a video so we don't. But just plowing through the river, making up a couple miles so we can pull out. So this kind of trip is all about working really hard to have a couple of short moments that are just phenomenal. Most of the ones that you remember, like that meal we had last night, that salmon, beans and rice, really outstanding. That's something I'll remember. Tons of camping near the pullout. We're less than a mile from the pullout. We've got maybe 6 or 8 of these big flat gravel bars that we could have camped on. So would have been good to know, but now we know. All right, we found the pullout. Now this is the secondary pullout they had to use. They couldn't use the primary one on this trip.
I love it. I love it. The trip's gonna make us work right up to the end.
Now they did say there's going to be a little bit of a berm, and he said it's going to suck, and that fits this description pretty well, don't you think, Brian? We'll move.
Well, we're done. We're all ready for pickup. Got everything bagged up, ready to go. Feel sorry for our luggage at the airport. Might be a little stinky, but
It took this long to pack out.
That's a public place right there. There's a restroom in there too, so it's for public.
Welcome to the accommodations.
So you guys had rainy weather, a lot of rain, didn't you?
The first 5 days. I was in a t-shirt all day.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Oh really? We didn't wear a recliner tent. We did not.
No, we got some creature comforts at the airport here in, how do you pronounce this name?
In
Quinnipiac. Some creature comforts, Brian. Well, nice little coffee for you.
thanks, buddy. That's the nicest thing you've done.
All our gear all cinched down inside our airplane.
That's good, Mike. Act like the camera's not even here. Just all natural. Brian, you're on?
Okay.
We went through security, TSA pre-check.
Yep.
All right, there's our pilot. He's taking care of us. Cocktails, peanuts. Back to Bethel. Two more. The ugly ones are coming.
Good looking ones always get first, right? You tell him that.
There he is.
Yeah, he looks better when he cleans up.
You guys can follow me to the terminal, please?
Is that all, you guys?
Yep. All right, we're back at Papa Bear HQ. Look what we got. Cleaned up Mike. Pizza. Cleaned up Brian.
Kind of.
Clean as you can get.
That's as good as Brian.
Ready for church.
Yep.
You got to work through the pain, rower.
Yep, the rower muscle.
You might have rode me for a few days, but at least we got you a wiggly chair.
Now what it does. Oh.
Where's it going? Where's it going?
Up your back.
How's it
Jump to
feeling?
the shoulders.
Dude, are you strapped into that thing?
I should.
You're gonna eject.